16 perfectly timed photos. Number 16, dog bubble bite. This dog loves bubbles, eating bubbles, and chasing bubbles. Anything that involves bubbles excites this little guy. This photo was caught at just the right moment when this little dog was in the midst of enjoying his greatest pleasure, bubbles. Number 15, moon landing. This photo of a man parachuting was taken at the perfect moment. It looks as if he is landing down on the moon as if he were dropped from somewhere out in space. The person who took this photo has excellent timing and managed to make a regular photo of a parachuter into a humorous depiction of a man dropping down onto the surface of the moon. Number 14, flying dogs. When dogs run, there are certain intervals where all of their feet are off the ground. This is true with most animals who run, and the owner of these dogs perfectly timed this image of the dogs running. It looks as if they are shooting through the air like missiles on a guided trajectory. It is quite the funny image due to the fact they are off the ground, but also due to the faces of the dogs in the front. He looks as if he is terrified of the dog that is chasing him. Number 13, gotcha. Someone must have had to sit down there all day to time this photo just right. It looks as if the statue has caught that plane the same way a person might catch a fly. The amount of patience used by the photographer is admirable, and they certainly succeeded in capturing an image that is both humorous and unique. Number 12, surface tension. Surface tension is a quality of certain liquids that is visible when pressure is applied, if the surface of the liquid is not broken. In this image, you can see a swimmer pushing up from under the water. In one more second, the surface tension of the water would be broken, and this swimmer would be above the water surface. However, a skilled photographer managed to capture this image at just the right moment, making the surface tension of the water visible, completely engulfing the face of the swimmer. Number 11, foothead. This image may be a bit confusing to look at when you first see it. Your first question would probably be to ask where the dancer's head is. Well, that is simple. It is behind her body. In some routines, when dancers jump like this, they tilt their head far back to achieve maximum balance as they soar through the air. Dancers are very flexible individuals, and that is why the foot is coming out from behind the ear as it is in this image. Her leg is lifted all the way behind her and held up. All of this in a single leap just goes to show the incredible skill of some individuals in the world of dance. Number 10, splash. This is yet another example of surface tension at work in the world. Someone poured a significant amount of water on this poor kid's head, and the photographer took the photo at just the right time to capture the surface tension of the water caressing the head. The surface of the water has yet to break, but if it were given just another second, it would definitely break, and it would be all over the kid. Someone was skilled enough to capture this before the tension broke and the kid was soaked. The skill needed to capture a photo such as this one is very high, and the person who achieved it must have had to practice quite a bit to get so quick. Number 9, nuts. This squirrel loves nuts. He's showing this in the image by showing his want for the nut that is falling in front of him. He dives to catch it, but will he succeed? This is something we may never know because the person who took this photo only caught the moment of the nut falling and the squirrel leaping for it. We certainly hope he caught his nut, although if he did not catch it, he probably still ate it. You can be sure that he does not care if it was on the ground or not. As mentioned before, he loves nuts. Number 8, missiles out. This picture is frightening in its implications. In this image, you see a missile leaving the tube of an anti-aircraft, anti-vehicle missile launcher. It is a good thing that photographs were not taken of the aftermath of this one. Unless this was a test missile being fired at a test target, this most likely killed one or more individuals. The skill of the photographer who caught this image is exceptional, and despite the violence this photo implies, the talent it entails is very evident. Number 7, bubble dog. This image is wonderfully done for a few different reasons. The first reason is the humor that comes from seeing a dog in a bubble. It looks as if he is going to float away and he's not very happy about it. Clearly, this picture was taken with the bubble at a displaced distance from the dog, making it seem as if the dog was caught in a bubble. The second reason this is such a great photograph is that someone must have been very skilled with the camera to land such an absolutely well-timed photo as this one. Number 6, supersonic. This image is truly awe-inspiring. What is depicted in this picture is the exact moment that a jet breaks the sound barrier and reaches supersonic speeds. The white cloud that is seen in the picture is the sonic boom that is the result of breaking the sound barrier. This photo is so amazingly timed because the speed at which the jet was moving to make this sonic boom occurred had to be over 1,000 miles per hour. A photographer who can catch a clear image of an aircraft going supersonic is one of the fastest photographers there is, and their skills are undeniable. Number 5. Levitating cat. This cat is levitating off the ground as if there were a god or some form of magical entity. Likely this cat was just leaping in the air and its owner, who was quick with a camera, took a lucky picture of their cat floating above the ground. The funny part about this picture is the expression on the other cat's face as his buddy flies up in the air. That, in addition to the smug, all-powerful look on the floating cat's face, makes for a humorous photo that is sure to bring laughs to people around the world. Number 4. Caught it. This is a beautifully timed photo of a bird snatching a leaping fish right out of the air. The fish was jumping out of the water and the bird was waiting patiently just as the photographer was. When the moment was right, the bird snatched at his prey and the critical juncture of the catch was caught forever in time with an image by a nature photographer with a quick camera finger. The skill required to take this picture is evident, and it must have taken years to get that quick on the draw. Number 3. The water balloon pop. This image depicts the exact moment of a water balloon popping. The beauty in this picture is the precision at which it was taken. The water looks like a giant floating teardrop that is not suspended by anything. Of course, if a picture were taken of what it would look like in about 2 seconds, then it would be a picture of nothing but some hands that are holding a needle, because in the few seconds following this image, all of the water would be on the ground. The timing of this picture is absolutely superb. Number 2. Terrifying penguin. It is likely that you did not know that penguins possess multiple rows of razor-sharp teeth inside their beaks. Well, they do, and this terrifying image shows them clearly. These teeth are used for grinding up fish inside their mouths. This is how they consume their prey, and some unlucky photographer got to see them up close and personal. This picture goes to show that penguins are not just cute little tuxedo-wearing bird friends. Instead, it becomes clear that they are predatory animals in their entirety. Number 1. Uninvolved in peace. This is humorous if you have any kind of knowledge about the UN. The United Nations is a coalition of countries who stand together on the world stage to bring peace to the world as a whole. Almost every nation in the world is part of the United Nations, but this picture makes a humorous play on one of the United Nations slogans. Involved in peace, next to the sign you see a United Nations peacekeeper with the big UN on his head, and it makes the sign look as if it says uninvolved in peace. This is humorous and sarcastic play on the prominent United Nations slogan.